everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to create an iOS plugin to get address from users location of latitude and longitude in Godot game engine. So we will be using geocoder for this to get the actual address. So yeah, let's get started. So as usual, you would require macOS. You need to download Xcode from the Apple App Store. I have created one empty folder named Godot. You can name it whatever name you feel like. It's just for organization's sake, because at the end of this tutorial there will be 3 different projects created with this. Then we will be following this particular documentation which you are seeing. Based on this documentation, I have created one cheat sheet as well, so don't get confused. So just open Xcode, click on File, New, Package, select multi-platform, select library, click next, then inside our Godot folder I'm naming my library as my library. You can name it whatever you feel like, but if you're doing this for the very first time, it's better you follow what I'm doing, because this my library name will be used in lot other places as well. So I'll just click on create. Now at the time of me recording this video, Swift Godot still does not support Swift version 6. So I'm going to change the version of Swift from 6.0 to 5.10. But you should check the Swift Godot repository if it supports Swift version 6 or above or not. Okay, once that is done, next we need to add this dependencies block. So if you see the documentation also, they have told us the same thing. Here you can see after products array we have to add this dependency block. So I'll just paste it over here. I'll do a command s, so it will automatically download the dependencies for us using Swift package manager, so we don't have to worry about it. So here you can see on the left hand side it has downloaded it for me. Then we need to add this platform iOS version. So again I'll just scroll down. Here you can see I have added platform macOS. They have added platform macOS, but we require platform iOS. I've kept the minimum version as 17 because below version 17 I was facing compile time issues for Swift Godot. Then we need to add this type dynamic as well, so I will just copy that. And if you see over here, after library name they have added it, so I'll just paste that. And then we need this last bit of stuff, which is this dependencies array. So if you scroll down, here you can see after target name they have added it. So after target name I'll just add one comma and paste this. I'll improve the indentation a bit. Okay, then I'll go to my library.swift file. Now here I will just cheat a little bit. I already have code for it. As a practice project I had created this, so I'll just copy it from that particular file and then I'll explain it to you. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. So first we have to import UIKit as well as Swift Godot, and then core location as well. Then this is boilerplate code which you have to write for Swift Godot, and this should be your library name. If you're seeing lot of errors after writing the code for this particular file, it's fine. Like Swift Godot does not play nicely with Xcode, so there are false positives as well. Then I have created a class called location service which extends from CL location manager delegate. I have created one callback. Then here is our CL location manager as well as geocoder as well, CL geocoder as well. Then inside the init we just assign the delegate as well as accuracy, and here we request when in use authorization as well as start updating location. One more method for stop updating the location as well. And here you can see this is the did update location method which we are overriding from CL location manager delegate. First we get the last known location, out of which we get the latitude and longitude, and then we just pass that particular location to this geocoder.reverse geocode location. And once we have that, if it is unable to reverse geocode it, then we use the same callback for throwing the error. But if you want, you can use a different callback. But once it has detected the place properly, now there could be multiple place marks. I'm just getting the first out of the array. So from that I'm just getting this thoroughfare, locality, country, ISO country code, the actual country, administrative area, region, postal code, all that stuff. And then just again using our callback to send the actual address. In case of error, again I'm just saying this, passing the error. And again we did fail with error. In case if you are not able to fetch the user's location, then also again I'm using the same callback to throw the error. And then here I have created another class called my library I have annotated with @Godot so that this can be used from GD script side as well. Then here we have created our signal. Then here I have created our location service. I have created a method called get location. So if location service is equal to nil, then we only initialize it and start listening for this location update callback. So with the help of this emit signal, we will get the data on GD script side. And here we are requesting the authorization as well. And for stopping the location update, we can just call this particular method as well. Now we need to create one build.sh file. Now for that I will create it via VS Code. If you want, you can do this via Xcode as well. I'm just more comfortable with VS Code, so I'll just open the entire Godot folder which I had inside VS Code. I'll just paste my cheat sheet as well. So inside our library we have to create one file called build.sh. Now inside this particular file, you can first need to go to this particular URL. You need to copy all this code and paste this inside this build.sh file over here. Then scroll up, and here you will have, inside the scheme you will have to write your own library name. So in my case it is just my library. And we also need to add this skip macro validation as well. So I'll copy that, make sure there are no spaces. So I'll just do that and do Command S to save it. Okay, so this is done. Then we can just open our terminal. I'll cd to our library. Okay, then then we need to run first this particular command. So I'll just copy it and paste it over here. Then we need to run this command. So here instead of debug, we have to write if you will have to write release if you are planning to deploy it to Apple App Store. I am not planning to do it, so for me debug is fine. So I'll just copy this and paste it over here. Now this will take bit of time to run, so in the meantime we will open Godot game engine. Now I'm using Godot 4.3.0 at the time of recording this video, but I think even if future versions of Godot, there will not be any breaking changes as such. So just click on create and browse to the Godot folder which we have created. I'll select that folder and I'll name our project as my Godot project, and I'll click on create and edit. Then I'll click on project, export, add iOS, click on fix import. You will have to enter your App Store team ID. To get your App Store team ID, you can go to this particular URL over here. I will enter mine later on. So yeah, you will have to enter it now only, otherwise you won't be able to export your project. And you also need to enter your bundle identifier. So typically it is com dot your company name dot your app name. So I'll just enter something random for now, and I'll close this. I'll click on 2D scene. I'll click create one button as well as one label. I'm not using that stop location updates method, so if you want you can create another button to call that particular method as well. So okay, I mean I can just write it as get location as the text. Okay, and here I'll create one label as well. So here is our label, and I will assign I'll go to theme overrides, font size. I'll assign the font size as 40, and here I will just do Command S to save it. Then I will attach one script to this as well. Then I will just drag and drop our label over here. Then I will go to our button. I will go to the node. I will add this press signal as well. Okay, then I will go back to my old practice project to copy some code. Just open this. So first we need to create this particular variable for initializing our library. So I'll just copy that and paste it over here. Then inside this on ready function we need to initialize our library. So that's what I'm doing over here. So here you can see that we are initializing it. Again, this should be your own library name as well as over here, and here we are connecting our signal. So for this we require one method. So I have just created that method, and once this method is called, we are just updating our label. So I have pasted it over here, and on our button press we need to call this get location method which we have created, right? So I'll just paste it over here. Again, like I said, I'm not using this stop location update, so if you want you can create another button for that as well, or call whenever you feel like is the right time for your app. Okay, then I'll just run this current scene as well so that my root scene is selected. Otherwise again I might get error. Then here we need to create one folder called bin. Inside that we need to create a file. Now I don't know how to create a file from Godot game engine, so I'm using a VS Code again. So here, I mean, it is a special kind of a file called mylibrary.gd extension. Again, this should be your own library name. So here we need to create this particular file. So I've created this file. Now if I try to open this file from Godot game engine, I'm not able to open it. I don't know why. So I'm again, we need to write some code over here. That's why I'm using VS Code. So inside that particular file, I'll just copy this code and I'll paste it over here. Again, this should be debug. If you have only used the debug command, if you have used release, you will have to replace it with release. If I come to my terminal, here you can see it has successfully built our app. So what we need to do is we need to go to our library first, go to bin iOS, and we need to copy these two .framework folders. Then go to my Godot project, go to bin and just paste it over here. Okay, I think that should be it. Next, here we need to create one folder called iOS. You can name it whatever you feel like. It says that once we export the project from Godot game engine, it will create a lot of files. That's why I'm creating a separate folder. Then come to Godot game engine, just press command S to save everything. Then go to project, export, click on export project, go to iOS folder, and then click on save. Now again, this will take a bit of time, so just be patient till it exports properly. Okay, so once your project export is successful, you can just go to the iOS folder. So I'll just go to the iOS folder, and here you will have to double click on this .xcode proj file. It will automatically open it for you in Xcode. Then you can just run it on your sorry, before you run it, I'll just stop running this. Okay, you will have to run it on a real device. It will not work on a simulator. Then you have to right click on this my Godot proj-info.plist file, open as source code, scroll down, and at the very bottom we need to add the location permission. So here you need to add this ns location when in usage description, and as well as ns location always usage description permission, and we need to specify why we require this permission. Then you can run it on your real device. Now I won't be able to show you guys the output because I don't want to share my address with you, but so if you want to stop watching the video, you can do it now. I'll just test it on my side. Again, I can't show it to you, but hopefully it should work. So I'm just waiting. Given that we are running the debug mode, it does take a bit of time to boot up our app on a real device. So yeah, it is still stuck on the splash screen. Okay, so I'm able to see it. I'll just press on the button and it asks me for permission. I will just allow it. Okay, now I'm able to see the address. Now just to let you know that it gives not an exact 100% accurate address. It gives an approximate address, even though the latitude longitude are correct. Given that this is extracting address from latitude and longitude is happening on device, we are not calling any server. That's why it is approximate address. So yeah, be mindful of that. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.